So I'm standing out the front of Jeff and Kaila's. It's raining. I'm going to see who's home and hopefully I can have a quick word with Jeff Riseley.
Hi Tom.
Hi Kaila, is Jeff home? I'm wondering if I can have an interview with him.
Yeah, he's playing the piano in there.
Jeff.
Sing us a song, you're the piano man.
You right?
Sing us a song tonight.
Athletics TV's Lakeside to London. Thanks for joining us, Jeff.
No worries, thanks for having me, guys.
We're here at your pad with you live with Kaila and Brad and Tricky.
Yeah.
Are you enjoying it so far over here in Teddington?
Yeah, it's good. The weather hasn't been great, but that's sort of London for you. But it's nice to have our own place this year, especially in such an important year being an Olympic year. So yeah, just being able to chill and relax and get away from sort of all the hecticness that is sort of 59 Park Road.
So you talk about this is an Olympic year. You've done a few races already. You stayed in Australia a bit longer. You did Leonora. You ran some cross-country races as well.
Yeah.
The athletics season. Tell me about the plans to go to Leonora and staying in Australia a bit longer.
Yeah, well, I'm a bit of a homebody, so I like being at home. I don't really, like travelling so much. So, I've got a really good group of guys to train with back home down at sort of Knox Athletics there, and sort of didn't really make much sense to go away because obviously the trials were done pretty early. It gave us a chance to go to Falls Creek in March, which is a time we would not normally be able to get up there, and yeah, it just meant that I didn't have to go to Laguna and I could sort of stay here and still get a good block of training done. And did stall this year after vowing never to go back there, but that was good. It was nice to have a good run there, and I'll go back there in the next year or so and try and break the mile record. Try and run 3:55, something like that. That'd be nice. Yeah, the cross-country season, I talked it up a little bit. I still continue to talk it up a bit. Knox Athletics has hit the lead after Colaban, which was really good. I think Richard Huggins sort of doesn't really get the recognition he probably deserves. I started training with him, and he's been able to sort of create a really good social environment down at Knox, and everyone gets along really well. And I, continue to train with a lot of the guys there, and just, help bring the youngsters through. And there's just a really good vibe down at Knox, and yeah, hopefully we can walk away with a title.
So I saw Geordie Williams and Kane Willie. They were a big part of Colaban over the weekend. You've had obviously a lot to do with them. I take it you take great pleasure in seeing them run well and seeing the boys do well down there.
Yeah, well, me and Kano, we got a pretty big history. He sort of was around when I joined Richard many years ago, and he's had his sort of battles with his Achilles, and it's been good that he's been able to sort of get going again, and he really helped me out a lot this year. So he came to Falls Creek with me in March, and we got a ton of training done, and then he was sort of always there with me, police paddocks, Tuesdays training, and he sort of, just really helped me get really fit. And Geordie came back from America after running 3:36, and it was really good to have him back. He's sort of the youngster in the group, and he's sort of got that really sort of young enthusiasm, and helps me sort of just relax a bit more at training and just sort of get the work done and enjoy having fun and get away from just the hard yakka. So yeah, between the three of us, we have some good banter, mainly talking about girls and other sorts of things. So yeah, we've got really good vibe down at Knox.
You went over to Western Australia and did the Leonora Golden Gift for the first time this year. Tell us about that experience and what you've taken out of that.
Yeah, well, usually I'm in either Europe or in America sort of training, and the dates don't really fit, so it was nice to go out there. I'd obviously never been there, but I'd heard a lot about it, and was always keen to get there. And yeah, had a really good 3 days. You know, sort of learn a lot about sort of how the town actually functions, and it was cool just to sort of get out of your comfort zone and, you know, sleep in the little miners hut thing and you know, go out to the big hole and speak to a lot of the locals and you know, sort of what they do and how the town functions, and go to the horse races in Blackawinna and you know, see the dirt sort of racing, and you know, I saw pigeons, you know, helped out with a lot of the youngsters, and really it was good just to sort of get involved with the festival that is Leonora and not just purely go there to race. So, you know, I'm looking forward to going back there again, and if the organisers are watching this next year, I want to go down into the hole and see how they do it all firsthand.
And the gold nugget, any plans for that? You haven't melted it down yet, have you?
Yeah, well, in my acceptance speech I made a joke to the crowd that I was going to melt the gold down into a ring and drop knee to my long-term girlfriend, but I think we'll put those plans on hold for a while.
You mentioned Elise, your girlfriend.
Yeah.
What's it like having her support and your family's support? I know you're really close with all your family.
Yeah, no, mum and dad, they're probably the linchpin, so they look after me. I'm still at home, out in Harkaway, and moving out in October when I get home, so it's pretty exciting. And they're coming over, so it'll be good to see them. And yeah, Elise, she spent a few days here in Teddington, so it was good to sort of for her to be able to see sort of what I do, and because I try and keep my my running life very separate from my private life, so it was sort of good to get her involved, and sort of she already knows what I do, but yeah, she sort of stayed here, but she's camping in the Slovakian forest for the next 10 days, so hopefully she makes it out of there alive.
So the cycling's been on here. It's a rest day in the tour.
Yeah.
It's not a rest day for us, but you have been quoted and bandied about. You do like your cycling, and you do get out on your Bianchi, is it? You've got one?
Yeah, I got a down Bianchi.
Down Beach Road. So there is some talk that you're going to retire in 2016, and by 2018 you'll be in the tour. So is that true, and what type of rider do you expect to be?
Yeah, well, 2010 I had a lot of trouble with plantar. I basically sort of sat the whole year out, ended up having surgery, so I Gary Marita's son hooked me up with a really sick bike, and used to love getting out on Beach Road, and you know, there was times where I was riding, you know, 500, 600, 700 kilometres a week, and it was good just to, you know, obviously couldn't run. It was a pretty tough year, pulled out of the Con Games, and it sort of really just created my competitive outlet, and yeah, the boys give me a lot of grief for it. They reckon I'm no good, but they've never seen me ride, and I ride really well. I did a lot of the 5:45 AM rides, which are on North Road with big pelotons, and Hull Ride, and the 6:45 Carlisle Street ride, and a few of my mates ride, and yeah, I have no trouble keeping up, and it's sort of an unofficial race to the BP service station on St Kilda, on Beaconsfield Parade, and yeah, I used to, you know, we'd sort of, the really good guys would be on the front driving the pace, and I'd sort of sit in the middle, and then once we got to Elwood I'd look for wheels, and I'd start cheating and creeping up to the front, and then put in the big sprint at the end, and I think my top speed was maybe 67 kilometres, and I still had guys going past me, which was a bit depressing, but yeah, I used to just get real lactic, and it sort of, yeah, just really gave me that competitive outlet. So yeah, I'm a guy who likes challenges, and yeah, I might chuck in the athletics probably earlier than I should, just for something different and challenge myself in a different way. So it's pretty serious thought, but right now the Olympics are 4 weeks away, so we'll shelf that.
Alright, well thanks Jeff for joining us here on our Super TV, Lakeside to London.
Yep.
Good luck in London, and I know everyone will be supporting you. You can follow you on Twitter, and you're on Facebook now, so...
Yeah, all sorts of social media going.
Yeah, so give him a follow and like him on Facebook. Alright, thanks Jeff.
No worries guys.